All right, we're here with Oswego after a tough loss. Coach, just talk about the season overall and your guys and get to this point once again this season.
Yeah, thanks. First off, I want to congratulate Cortland on their win. I thought that they really displayed a tremendous amount of toughness and togetherness today. Obviously, we had an interesting series with them this year. We went to their place early in January. They took it to us. We played them a week ago, and we kind of took it to them. And they're obviously an incredibly prideful program, as are we. And they had a chip on their shoulder today that we weren't quite ready for, which lies on my shoulders. But our season this year, I'm pleased with everything. It's not the typical standard that we've been used to here, but we lost over 80% of our scoring from last year. We started 2 freshmen most of the season and sophomore. And it was a transitional year for us in terms of mixing and matching lineups. You know, we played well early, then we kind of took it on the chin. Our guys had to constantly deal with, you know, bigger defeats, which we weren't used to, and being able to be resilient through that. And we played our best basketball down the stretch. We won 9 of our last 11 going into today. And today was, I thought, more about Cortland than it was us. They outplayed us, and they really deserve credit. But I'm really proud of our guys. We fought till the end. We were down 23 with 10 minutes and 50 seconds to go. And I think we got into a 4 or 5 point disadvantage. So we had our opportunities, you know, but Cortland made the plays down the stretch when they had to.
Coach now, Parker Flores from NYU.
Hey, Parker.
Just, you know, some thoughts on Lazo. He's played 2 years here for the Lakers squad. Do you have any reflection on what he brought to his team and how much his presence will be missed?
Yeah, of course, all of our seniors, but Kenny in particular, his level of positivity is unmatched. He had a tough break this year in that he sustained an injury that disallowed him from playing in the first semester. It's always tough when you miss a chunk of the season to then work your way back into the lineup, especially at the point guard position. So I don't think the role that he had this year was what either I or he envisioned this year, but he made the most of it. And I think the best thing for Kenny, as I just told him in the locker room, was his best game this year was his last game, and I think he'll always remember that. I just appreciate him because it's never easy for a senior to be a backup. It's never easy for a senior to have spotty minutes here and there. The whole season, it was evident, both through his words and through his actions, that he was all about the team, and that's his best quality, and we will certainly miss that from him tremendously.
Yeah, and then for Kenny, do you have any reflection here on retirement at Oswego, and what are you going to take away from your time here?
I had a great time here. You know, Leon coaches us really hard, and I appreciate that too. And I would say this was definitely the most fun team I've been on probably my whole career. I really appreciate all my teammates, and it was just a great season. I never, even though like my role wasn't what I envisioned, I wouldn't have changed it for anything because of the guys I was able to be around.
And for Gary McLean, you unfortunately fouled out with 6 minutes to go, and prior to that you're having a really good game. And what are you going to take away and learn from this loss heading into next season?
I mean, I think that the group of guys that we recruited this year really just encouraged everyone on the team to be better. People like Kenny and all of our coaching staff, just they allow me to feel like I'm confident. Even if I'm having a bad game, they push me forward. And I think it was definitely tough going out early in that game. It was devastating, but I think moving forward, I'm going to remember everything that we've learned this year, what it feels like to take this loss, everything that everyone's taught me this year, the seniors that are leaving, and move forward next year. Hopefully we can be back here.
And then final question for Coach, any early thoughts on next season? What's that look ahead for this Lakers squad?
No, I mean, it's always tough right after the game's over, but obviously I like the young group that we recruited this year. I think there's some real positive things there. I mean, obviously anytime you win 17 games and finish second in your league and you're starting 2 freshmen, and Steven was a starter, our sophomore guard for much of the year. You know, we have some pieces coming back, but obviously recruiting will be important. But we're going to miss these seniors. I mean, yes, there was some younger guys that had some good stats this year, but they would be the first to tell you the reason they had good stats was because these seniors were on the floor with them. They weren't ready early in the year, and we got off to the start we did because of our older guys that were in the lineup. So, guys like Kenny didn't play the first semester, but Cole and Xavier and Key and Billy, like those guys kind of got us off to a good start this year, while these guys were kind of working through some mistakes. And then towards the end of the year, you saw, Gary and Deacon, they really played like stars. Arthur, unfortunately, was unable to go tonight with an injury, but we feel really confident about guys like him and Jarrell Monroe moving forward as well. So, but the whole thing with next year, when we eventually sit down and talk after a couple of weeks, is going to be, the weightlifting piece, player development piece. So obviously we didn't shoot the ball well this year from the arc. That's got to improve. Our physicality has to improve. I thought today Cortland was they pushed us around, and that was evident, and that was a big reason why they played the way they did, was they were the aggressor and we were unable physically to match them. So looking forward to next year, those are got to be points that we have to address.
Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you so much, Rex.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.